Hello there, if you want to check prices on Amazon, the link is below in the description. If you're having trouble choosing which laptop to buy, we offer expert buying advice on what to look for and a range of options to suit your budget and tastes. You won't go wrong with our selections. These are the very best laptops you can buy in the US and elsewhere in 2019. 1. HP NV13. It might not look any different from the previous model, but the NV13 is still a firm favorite at Tech Advisor Towers. Yet again, HP is offering outstanding value for money here. Even the cheapest model has decent specs, including an NVIDIA MX250 graphics card, where many rivals are using the older MX150 or simply integrated graphics. It's also got something quite rare these days in the form of a humble microSD card slot. There might not be Thunderbolt 3 support, but that shouldn't be too much of a big deal for most users. HP has importantly improved the trackpad, battery life, and the screen is much better than last year's model too. If you want a premium laptop at a reasonable price without scrimping on specs, then the NV13 is the one. 2. Dell XPS 139380. The 2019 XPS 13 is much more about refinement than innovation, but easily remains the best 13 inches laptop around. Webcam placement aside, the combination of a small form factor, incredibly impressive aesthetics and engineering, and the option of a powerful Core i7 or cheaper i3 processor make it an ideal companion for almost anyone. This isn't a gaming laptop, as the onboard graphics are unimpressive, and if you need GPU grunt for things like video editing, then there are similarly priced, or even cheaper, rivals that have dedicated graphics cards if you need it. Last year's model also remains an excellent buy too if you're looking for a slightly more budget option. 3. Microsoft Surface Laptop 2. It might not be hugely different to its predecessor, but the Surface Laptop 2 comes in at the same price, now reduced, with upgrades including 8th Gen Intel and more memory. Then there's the black model, which looks great. It competes well across design, build, specs and performance, and most people won't need to go beyond the second cheapest model. One thing to bear in mind is that it might be worth spending a little extra to get the Surface Laptop 3. 4. Asus ZenBook S13. Asus has been making dependable laptops for years without earning the hype of Dell or Apple's latest, but the ZenBook S13 is a sign that this is an underappreciated company operating at the top of its game. Right now you cannot find an ultrabook that crams specs like this, including an i7, discrete graphics, and 512GB SSD storage, into a body this small, and the S13 does it all, while undercutting most of the market on price. That's not even mentioning the reverse notch, what could have been a design gimmick, but in fact keeps the bezels slim, while providing an unexpectedly handy lip for opening the laptop. The silver finish might be a bit bling, and the trackpad isn't the best, but those are minor complaints in the grand scheme of things. If you can afford to drop $1.50 and want discrete graphics in an ultra-portable package, the S13 is a very easy recommendation. 5. Huawei MateBook X Pro. The MateBook X Pro is a great deal, especially if you can stretch to the flagship model, which offers a Core i7 processor and NVIDIA MX150 graphics. Factor in the higher resolution touchscreen, and you're getting much better value than the flagship Dell XPS 139370. It's frustrating that you still can't buy the MateBook X Pro in the UK, but if you're in the US where you can order it from the Microsoft Store, it should be firmly on your shortlist. The MateBook X Pro for 2019 is official, but you can't buy it, so we're leaving this model in the chart until that time comes. 6. Asus ZenBook 14 UX 433. The ZenBook 14 is a very promising shake-up to the Asus laptop line. It's smaller, lighter, and better looking than any of the previous models, without having to sacrifice either ports or powers. There aren't many laptops around that can offer you a 14 inches display and a body this compact, while still giving you USB-A and HDMI ports, not to mention a Core i7 processor. Unless you're an Excel addict, you can probably safely ignore the glowing numpad. It's a fun gimmick, but most of us will probably forget it's even there, and without tactile feedback, it's hardly a proper replacement for the keys. Still, this is a strong enough laptop elsewhere that it doesn't need that gimmick to get by, and there's plenty to recommend it otherwise. The only question mark is pricing. In the US, this is unquestionably good value, with some serious specs on offer for just over $1,000. In the UK you get lower specs for almost the same price. It's not quite enough to make the ZenBook 14 a bad choice. You're still getting a lot of laptop for your money, but it's no longer the no-brainer it is in the States. 7. Lenovo IdeaPad 720s. The Lenovo IdeaPad 720s is a laptop that proves you can sometimes get more if you pay less. It's more versatile than a lot of £1,000 plus portable laptops because it has a separate graphics card, making it a passable gaming machine. That it adds this without ruining battery life or portability is excellent. It is one of the most versatile portables around. The one regret is that the laptop doesn't have Nvidia's latest GeForce MX 150 graphics, using the older 940 MX kind instead. However, maybe we shouldn't complain too much if such a move would have added substantially to the price. 8. LG Gram 17. The Gram 17 sets itself apart from the competition with its pretty 17-inch display while weighing just 2.95 pounds. A laptop that light, with a large pretty screen, military-grade 810G endurance testing and 8th generation Core i7 processors make for a whole lot of power and display potential in an extremely light package. If you want the most portable, powerful laptop you can find that still holds a nice big 17-inch 2650x1600 display, then look no further than the Gram 17. 9. Apple MacBook Air. The MacBook Air remains a good choice for a portable laptop that's powerful enough to do various tasks. Our disappointment comes from how similar it is to last year's model and the fact the power is actually slightly down on the 2018 Air. It's still something of a classic in the world of laptops, but is just a little bit samey. It now comes with an improved keyboard, although it's still not perfect, and true tone screen technology. It might be a little cheaper than before, but Windows rivals are still often better value. 10. HP Spectre Folio. The HP Spectre Folio isn't for those looking for a powerful machine. Instead, the focus here is on style and versatility. In those areas, the Folio excels with its gorgeous and well-made combination of metal and leather and the various ways in which you can use the device, both like a laptop and a tablet. Highlights include the excellent screen and amazing battery life. Downsides include a lack of power for any advanced tasks and a shallow keyboard. 11. Lenovo Yoga S730. The Yoga S730 is a solid option if you're not willing to fork out on an XPS 13. It offers similar performance in a comparable form factor, but the price difference shows up in the details as the components surrounding Intel's latest chips won't be quite as good. It's suitable for those looking for a stylish word processing companion to take on the move, but it doesn't have the flexibility of its more expensive rivals. 12. Acer Swift 3 SF315. The Acer Swift 3 is not a killer laptop in any one area, but it gathers enough appeal in a wide variety of areas to make a lot of sense for people after a laptop that can do just about anything. It has better games performance than your average Intel machine, though, and the screen is fairly good, even if its color depth is limited. Most of all, though, it looks and feels nicer than a lot of 15.6 inches laptops in this class. And costs less than other premium models that match it for build. That said, if we had £799 to spend, we'd be very tempted by the 14 inches Swift 3 with an Intel Core i5 CPU and MX 150 GPU. It will handle games that bit better. 13. Huawei MateBook 13. It may sound a bit obvious to compare the MateBook 13 to the MacBook Air, but it's hard not to. With such similar designs, there's little to tell the laptops apart on aesthetics, and as soon as you look at the internals, Huawei's laptop pulls sharply ahead. The base model offers double the storage of Apple's for £300, $200 less, while the more expensive one manages to include a faster processor, double the storage, and a discrete GPU, though the UK doesn't get the GPU, and still comes out cheaper than Apple's £1,399, $1,399 setup. The only real compromises are on webcam picture quality and battery life, though the latter could be a deal breaker for anyone seriously considering switching from San Cupertino. 14. Microsoft Surface Book 2 13.5 in. The Surface Book 2 is a stunning piece of work from Microsoft once again. It's a great example of a premium laptop with top-level design, performance and features. We only have a few minor quibbles such as the lack of Thunderbolt. It might be one of the best laptops you can buy, but not everyone should rush out and get one. The price means that it's only justifiable for those who will really make use of its modes, features and performance. For the average Joe, a cheaper rival will suffice, such as the Surface laptop. 15. Apple 15 inches MacBook Pro. We're still waiting for a physical redesign, but the MacBook Pro remains a decent laptop choice if you're looking for high performance on the go. The design is hardly bad, but Apple still hasn't sorted out the keyboard issue, although if it does affect you, the firm will sort it out for free. The headlines for this 2019 refresh are new 9th-gen Intel processors with up to 8 cores and new graphics cards, too. The 15 inches model is your best choice in the current range if you need power, since the 13 inches size has only been given a small processor bump. While the MacBook Pro is still a stunning device, the price is very high, especially if you don't want the entry-level specs. If you're not set on macOS, then there are a few Windows rivals available for less.